Hi, this is Kate with Kate's Paper Creations, bringing you my weekly free video and blog. This week's entry being casing the catalog. And so here's the new annual catalog. We're into May. It's available. All the new products are available. Time to get really excited, right? And see what there is to offer in the new catalog. I'm going to be casing a card from page 104. Let's open that up so you can see it. I bought the hand-penned suite, and it's got some really lovely products in it. I am going to be imitating or casing this card right here. Not sure about everything they used to do this, but we'll get close and you'll get an idea of how to duplicate this beautiful card. So let's get started. It's actually quite simple card. We're going to start with the standard A2 basic white thick base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I say that every time, but you never know when there's going to be someone new to stamping that needs to hear those numbers. So that's why you get to hear them over and over again. And it's going to be a top fold card. Okay. Layer 1 is Misty Moonlight. It is cut 4 1/4 by 5.5 because I want it to basically cover the entire front of the card. In the hand-pinned stamp set, which I need to get here so you can see it. I buried it somewhere. Give me a minute. Oh, here we go. In the hand-pinned petals stamp set and the bundle, it also has these dies, and one of those dies is this scalloped and stitched border die. And I have already done it, but what I wanted to show you is how I did it. This is where washi tape comes in, very handy. And so I keep obsolete washi tape around just for that reason, because I set it on here, give it just a little bit of a bend so it lays nice and flat. Sometimes they get just a little bit of a bend in them. There, that'll help some. Okay, and I wanted it as close to the edge as I could. I didn't want to take away any more than I absolutely had to. And so once I got it set on there and it just touched the edge, then I put a piece of washi tape on, and I started out by putting one right in the middle, and it still wanted to shift this way a little bit, so I started doing it this way so it would hold it. So that's how I did that, and then I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and embossed machine with a typical sandwich. Now sometimes this washi tape can get a little bit over sticky, so you want to peel it off really carefully. You can, I don't know if you can see it, where I put the middle one on and it took a little bit of the finish of the card off. That would be a flaw I wouldn't be able to tolerate unless I was covering it up, which I am going to be doing, so we're going to be okay there. But it's just a little heads up about that washi tape. Sometimes you might even want to unsticky it by just playing with it a little bit, okay? So that's how I did the edges of this, and then it's going to get attached to the front of the card totally flat. So I'm just going to use Stampin' Seal and attach that to the front of the card. And so I'm going to line it up with this end and then look for making sure that those scallops stay within the border like that. So there's that part. Then the next piece, next layer, is the hand-penned Designer Series paper, and I cut it 5.5 by 3 7/8. I'm going to end up covering up the stitching. I didn't want the stitching, I just wanted the scallops. So I measured between them, and that worked the best. 5.5 by 3 7/8, and it's going to go on flat as well. The Stampin' Seal takes a little bit of getting used to, but the more I use it, the easier it gets. And again, I'm just going to center it from top to bottom, and it's going to fill up from side to side. So it's just a matter of getting the same on each side. So there's that basic card front. Then I took a piece of regular basic white and this image from the stamp set and cinnamon cider, and I stamped it full strength onto the basic white and then cut it out with the die that is in the set. And so that is this die right here, and I trimmed it out. Now sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm using dies, I have a tendency to get them just a little bit off one way or the other. I do my best to center them. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle, and I just want to encourage you that if that happens, feel free to go back and do some trimming, and that's what I did with this. I went and trimmed off some of the excess white that come up around them, and it still comes out beautiful. So there's that piece. The next piece is a piece of petal pink. And it is, the petal pink is 4.5 by 2 1/4. And it is stamped with that same image and the cinnamon cider. And you could do it full strength or you could stamp off. So I'm going to show you both. This is the finished card that I made for my sample. And here I did the cinnamon cider and I didn't stamp off. I left it full strength. And then this is the one I did where I stamped it off and it was a little bit paler. And so it's really a matter of taste and how you want to use it. But that's the difference. And I'm going to leave it like that just so you can see how that works. Then I also cut a different sentiment. I'm not really into congratulations cards right now. I don't need anything like that. And so I decided to stick with my happy birthday, and I brought in the happy birthday stamp from Pansy Petals stamp set. And this little sentiment tag came from Ornate Frames. And you'll find Ornate Frames on page 164. You'll find the Pansy Patch set on page 29. And that's where I got the sentiment from, is from Pansy Patch. And I'm going to just stamp it with the cinnamon cider as well, and it just fits. But I didn't want it to get too big, so that's okay. So those are the pieces I'm going to put on the front. I'm going to attach this piece with dimensionals. Get those out. Try and keep this in the picture as best I can here. I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to use my laptop with my tablet. So my tablet can see the work surface and you can watch what I'm doing. And then with my laptop, I could visualize myself as well, and then I can start doing some lives maybe. So I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm determined to do it on my own and not pay somebody to teach me. So it's taking me a while to do that. I'm going to put this on, this piece on flat with just a strip of Stamp and Seal, excuse me. And then the birthday greeting, they did tone on tone, and I just didn't think it showed up well at all. So that's why I switched to white, and I think it looks a lot better. Again, there's personal taste. And I'm going to put the happy birthday right here. And then they used gilded gems in there for their bling, but I decided to pull in Artistry Blooms sequins. They're coming back from the previous catalog. I think it was this mini, and it's got 5 different of the five colors: Calypso Coral, Costa Cabana, Mango Melody, and Rich Razzleberry. I'm assuming this is probably the Calypso Coral, and so it had that lovely orangey tone to it that I needed for this particular card. And I'm just going to add a few of these for some bling. We'll put one up there, and they come in 2 sizes, so I'll probably mix and match a little bit. And let's put a couple of them here. And it might be just fun to have one on the happy birthday as well. And of course, the placement of those is totally up to you and your artistic license. So there is today's Casing the Catalog video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you will consider allowing me to do that for you. If you need a catalog, you can message me and I'll send one to you. And the link to my online store is in the description below. Thanks again for stopping by.